All right, I am cutting in with a new Accuweather Alert. We do have a tornado warning posted now for the immediate Trenton area. Now, this includes parts of Burlington County, parts of Mercer County. If you live within this red polygon, what you need to do right away is to seek shelter. That tornado warning is in effect until 5:30. We have a very powerful line of thunderstorms working through our area right now, and this is radar indicated. What this means is that the radar is detecting that there's a bit of a spin in the atmosphere. There's a bit of shear, and this could spawn a tornado. And we're seeing it right here. This is near Levittown. Chris, if we can even zoom in on this hook a little bit more, radar indicated means that the radar is picking up that there's some spin in the atmosphere. Here it is right near Levittown, and that means in addition to the lightning, the heavy downpours, and the straight line winds, there could actually be a small tornado that's been kicked up from this particular cell. It's moving east at about 35 miles per hour. So, Chris, if we want to do a track on this, again, if you are, this actually is not a track, but this shows the relative velocity. So what this means is that where you see the green, these are the winds that are rushing towards the radar site. Where you see the red, it's winds that are rushing away. We've got the red and we've got the green right next to each other. That's what's called gate-to-gate shear, and that's an indication that there could be some spin in the atmosphere that could be spawning a tornado. So some of the towns in the path of this, Hamilton, Mercerville, Robbinsville, and Edinburgh, all in the path of this possible tornado. If you are in this area, you need to seek shelter immediately. This is the reflectivity, and you can see that it's lighting up. We've got thunder and lightning. We have some heavy downpours. Dew points earlier today were in the 70s, so that means there's a tremendous amount of moisture in the air. It's like a sponge that's just saturated. As soon as you get the thunderstorms rolling through, you get that heavy downpour that could also cause some flooding. Tracking the storm again, Whitehorse, Yardville, Robbinsville, Upper Freehold, and Twin Rivers all in the path of the storm. When you can see this radar, so this shows an indication of a hook. Now that shows the counterclockwise motion of the winds that could be spawning a tornado. When we're talking about straight line winds, you actually see a bowing. You see it in the opposite direction, but this indicates that there could be a tornado near Levittown, moving east at about 35 miles per hour. So if you live in this area, if you're in the path of that storm, I do want you to seek shelter immediately. Again, now the orange that we have, these are severe thunderstorm warnings lining up ahead of that line of thunderstorms. So even if you're in the orange, the warnings, you need to seek shelter immediately. If you're in the path of the tornado warned area, that red polygon, what you want to do, you want to go ahead and get in a basement if you can. If you don't have a basement, get in an interior room, a bathroom, a closet, something away from windows. You want to put as many layers between you and the outdoors as possible. The lowest level of your building, always the most important thing to get into it. Moving across I-95, that tornado warning is in effect until 5:30 tonight. So let's go ahead, let's do, well, this shows the whole line. The line of thunderstorms associated with a cold front, and think about just how much energy is in the atmosphere. We had 4 days in a row of temperatures in the 90s. Yesterday, that heat index 107. Today, we dropped into the 80s, but there's still a lot of moisture. The cold front pushes in. It's cooler, drier air. It's encountering the warm, moist air. It lifts it up, and if there's enough dynamics to cause some of that spin, that's when you get the possible tornado. This shows you the lightning strikes. Chris, why don't we go ahead and zoom in and show how many lightning strikes we've had over the past 15 minutes. That's an indication of the energy in the atmosphere, and so we're getting a lot of thunder and lightning, some heavy downpours, and 80 lightning strikes over the past 15 minutes, moving towards the Trenton area, and again, right near Levittown, that's where we're seeing the radar indicated hook. That is an indication that there could be a tornado moving east at about 35 miles per hour. So let's go ahead and track this again and show some of the communities in the path of this storm. It's moving pretty quickly. As that cold front pushes in, it continues to move to the east. So we're going to see that possibility of severe weather kind of track east along it. Whitehorse, Yardville, Robbinsville, Allentown, and Sharon all in the path of the storm system with the potential for a possible tornado. Earlier at the top of the newscast, I showed you that we also had a tornado warning on the border of Kent and Sussex County, Delaware. So this is now a second one. This one is in our viewing area right near the Trenton area, and also the potential for hail. Don't be surprised if you get some large hail if you're in the path of the storm. This shows the relative velocity. This is that wind direction. Again, the green is toward the radar site, the red is away from it, and when you get the bright green and the bright red right next to each other, that's what's called gate-to-gate shear. That indicates that there could be that rushing, spinning wind very close to the center of the storm. This is showing that it's now just the east of Levittown. Bordentown, if you live there, seek shelter immediately. You are in the path of that possible tornado. Whitehorse, Yardville, Robbinsville, Allentown, and Sharon, all possibly in the path of that as well. Chris, why don't we go over to the graphic that shows you what to do in the tornado? We don't get a lot of tornado warnings in this area. We don't have tornado shelters, but you have places in your home that you can get to right away. What you want to do, you want to seek shelter immediately. If you're in that tornado warning, best place to be is in a basement. A lot of us, we don't have basements. If you don't, go to a closet, go to interior hall. Please stay away from windows. I know a lot of people want to take their cell phone, get pictures. Don't do that. You want to avoid any windows. You want to put as many layers between you and the outdoors as possible, because a lot of times when we do have these tornado warnings, we get the wind damage. We get the trees, they can shatter windows, and this is why you want to, again, put as many layers between you and the outdoors as possible. This is that tornado warning in effect right now for parts of Mercer County, for parts of Burlington County as well. And you can see Levittown, Bucks County also in that warning. That tornado warning is in effect until 5:30 tonight. Elsewhere, right along that line of thunderstorms, we do have severe thunderstorm warnings. We've had reports of the potential for wind gusts up to about 60 miles per hour with this line of storms. This is all ahead of a cold front. When you get a cold front moving into the warm, moist air that we have in place after our heat wave, this is when you can get this violent weather with the potential for damaging straight line winds and also the potential for the rotating winds that can spawn a tornado. So this shows Storm Tracker 6 live double scan Philadelphia. The worst part of the storm is moving out right now, so it's really moving interior South Jersey, currently Burlington County, Trenton as well. And this is the cell that we were talking about earlier on the border of Kent and Sussex County, Delaware. That's also another tornado warning, and that you can actually see some of that hooking with the radar that's moving into the Delaware Bay. Tremendous amount of lightning strikes with this particular cell. This is also moving east at about 30 miles per hour. So if you're in Cumberland County, if you're in Cape May, you're not getting it quite yet, but you will be. Looks like probably North Cape May and Cape May between about 5:34 and 5:39. So we do have some widespread severe weather right now. Severe thunderstorm warnings all in advance of this line of storms. So everywhere, if you're in the warnings, any of these warnings, please seek shelter immediately. We've got lightning, we have heavy downpours, we have the potential for damaging winds, and where we have this red polygon, this is where we have a tornado warning. Parts of Bucks County, parts of Mercer County, into parts of Burlington County, that tornado warning is in effect until 5:30. So what's happening, it's radar indicated. So the radar shows that there's a little bit of spin in the atmosphere, and this has the potential to spawn a small tornado. Typically in this area, we don't get the big tornadoes, we don't get the long track tornadoes, but we get the little spin ups that can touch down and cause a lot of damage. And this is a pretty fairly populated area as well. The lightning strikes you can see around the Trenton areas indicating that we do have a tremendous amount of energy in the atmosphere. And the wind direction, with a line of winds or a line of thunderstorms, typically you get the straight line winds, but every now and then the apex of the storms, you can get the rotation. This shows the rotation right now just to the east of Trenton. In Bordentown, you've got the gate-to-gate shear with the winds rushing towards the radar site and away from the radar site. So this means that I do think that the center of this possible tornado has moved out of Levittown. It's moving through Bordentown right now. It's basically crossing I-95 and could be heading towards Upper Freehold if it stays together. The tornado warning is in effect until 5:30. We will stay on the air until it's been lifted. And even if it does get lifted, we still have the severe thunderstorm warnings in effect. It's moving pretty quickly east at about 35 miles per hour. So Whitehorse, Yardville, Robbinsville, Millstone, and Manalapan all in the path of the storm system. It's a cold front. It's cooler, drier air. It's running into warm, moist air. It's causing the severe thunderstorms and the tornado warnings as well. Meteorologist Brittany Boyer is here. Do you have some more to report to our viewers?
Yeah, I'll give you a little bit of a break.
Thank you.
I'll give you a little bit of a break. So yes, we are on the air right now, tracking the severe weather, also those tornado warnings that Cecily was just talking about. And as she mentioned, these are radar indicated, so it doesn't exactly mean that anything has been spotted by the public, but conditions are favorable that these thunderstorms are capable of producing a tornado. Another big problem that we would have with this kind of setup is there's a lot of heavy rain right now, so anything that could be spinning a tornado is going to be very difficult to see. You can see where exactly Chris kind of just highlighted where we're looking at that rotation right now. This is pressing its way on east, so as we look at our time clock here, 5:14 around Whitehorse, 5:18 in Yardville, Robbinsville around 5:22, 5:38 in Millstone, and Manalapan we're looking at 5:43. So now is the time that you want to be in your safe location. We kind of already went over some of those spots that you can be in. You want to be in a basement or the lowest level of your home, and this is just giving us an idea of where some of that rotation is at the moment. Again, as I mentioned, we're not seeing a confirmed tornado at this point, but the conditions are favorable that this severe thunderstorm that's moving in the area around Bordentown and points on east here. So this is right around US 130, also right around the I-95 corridor. I'm going to switch views here. This is moving just to the east at about 35 miles per hour. So this gives you an idea the trajectory of the path of this thunderstorm that it is going to be taking. We popped up a few other communities for you here. 5:17 in Golden Crest, Robbinsville around 5:21, Roosevelt 5:33, Millstone 5:37, and Manalapan around 5:41. Manalapan. Still new. I'm still going to make some mistakes, so my apologies there. Thank you, Cecily, as we continue to track this tornado warning that's moving through our area. Now, if we kind of look at what's going on more on a broad perspective, as we mentioned, there is a cold front that's going to be moving through our area. A lot of humidity in the air right now, so this is what's really fueling these thunderstorms that are moving through the region. Also, a lot of lightning that's being detected here on our radar, and we popped up a few more communities for you here. Yardville around 5:19, Allentown 5:27, Upper Freehold 5:32, and in Millstone right around 5:40. So if you're just tuning in to us now, we are on the air because there is a tornado warning that does include portions of Bucks, Burlington, and also into Mercer counties. And as we work our way a little bit farther south, you can see where a lot of these clusters of thunderstorms are at this point around the Upper Pittsgrove area. Also, as you work your way into parts of South Jersey, around the Morris River here, an incredible amount of lightning. Even if you are not under a tornado warning in this area, you want to seek cover because these thunderstorms are capable of wind gusts as high as 60 miles per hour. And look at all of this lightning. When we show you a box like this, it shows the amount of lightning that's been detected within the last 15 minutes. And just within the last 15 minutes, 287 lightning strikes. So this is also a very dangerous situation here. Parts of Delaware also dealing with those strong storms. And we're going to be watching this as this continues to move its way over the water. This could be a problem toward Cape May as we head within the short-term period. So we're going to switch things back over to Cecily. She probably had a chance to see what's new at this hour.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Brittany. And I do want to give you an update that the tornado warning has been canceled for Bucks, but it's still in effect for Burlington and and Mercer counties. So let's go ahead and show you. I want to show you the polygon that we're talking about for that warning. So you can see how it's been edged back a little bit. So right now, if you live in Bucks County, you're still under the severe thunderstorm warning. You still want to stay put in a safe place. However, you are no longer in the tornado warning. The tornado warning is in effect for parts of Burlington and Mercer County. Right now, it appears that that storm that's capable of producing a tornado is right near Bordentown. It's moving east at about 25 miles per hour. So it's also slowed down a little bit, but that tornado warning is in effect for the area near Bordentown and basically areas east till 5:30. So if you live within this red zone, this is even more important to seek shelter. Please go into a basement. If you don't have a basement, an interior hall or closet, something that's away from the windows on the lowest level of your floor. So Storm Tracker, lowest level of your building, I should say. Storm Tracker 6 Live double scan showing that it's a cold front that's pushing in right now. So this is what's creating that powerful line of thunderstorms. We have heavy downpours, we have thunder and lightning, and we also have wind gusts up to about 60 miles per hour. But this one particular cell that's near Bordentown, this is where we have been seeing some radar indication that there could be a bit of rotation within that cell that's producing that possible tornado. This shows the wind direction. Green is towards the radar site, the red is away, and we do have that gate-to-gate shear where we have the red and the green right next to each other. So that's an indication that there could be a tornado. You can see near Chesterfield right now, and as we've been showing this on the air, we're seeing it continue to advance to the east. So all of this is pushing east at about 25 miles per hour. It's just generally south and east of Trenton right now, and I'm seeing the radar. It's looking a little bit now like it's starting to break up, so that could be good news. That could be an indication that it's weakening, but still, we want to take all of these warnings very seriously. So Allentown, Wrightstown, Millstone, Sweetman, and Vista Center all in the path of the storm as it continues to race east at about 25 miles per hour. Let's kind of widen the view and show you the scope of what we're looking about. All of these storms associated with a cold front that's pushing through our area. This is what's responsible for ending the heat wave. We have severe thunderstorm warnings lining up right along that front, continuing through the Philadelphia area, through interior South Jersey, and into Delaware. We had an earlier tornado warning in effect for the border of Kent and Sussex County. That particular cell is moving into Cumberland County right now. Cape May County, you'll probably be getting it within about the next 20 minutes. I wouldn't be surprised if we even have some hail associated with this. You can see how it's moving pretty quickly, all the lightning strikes. This particular cell that's moving into Cumberland County, this has the most amount of lightning strikes than any of them tonight. So that's an indication that there's a lot of energy in the atmosphere. The cold front that's pushing in is going to vastly change our temperatures and our humidity heading towards the weekend. Zooming in right now, Morris River area, you are getting hit very hard. If you have any friends on the beach in Cape May, call them and please tell them to get inside right away. This cell is moving there. And remember, lightning can strike up to about 15 miles ahead of a storm. So the storm doesn't have to be right on top of you. That lightning can hit horizontally. It doesn't have to hit vertically. So please seek shelter as soon as you hear that rumble of thunder. Glasper right now dealing with some heavy downpours as well, crossing the Atlantic City Expressway. So severe thunderstorm warnings are in place ahead of that, now moving out of the Philadelphia area as that front continues to push across interior South Jersey. And here is a tornado warning that's in effect for Mercer County, for Burlington County. It's no longer in effect for the Philadelphia area or for the Pennsylvania area. It's really focused across South Jersey right now. Tornado warning in effect until 5:30. So Bucks County, you are no longer in the tornado warning, but it was at 5:07 when that particular cell indicated that there could be a tornado near Levittown. Levittown right now, everything is really settling down, but the cell has been pushing to the east, starting at about 35 miles per hour. It's now slowed down to 25, but it's staying together. So that means that the tornado warning warning does continue for parts of Burlington and Mercer County. This is the line that we're talking about. Philadelphia, it's raining right now, but we're no longer getting that severe weather. But that line of severe weather works through interior South Jersey, basically from Mercer County all the way into the Delaware Bay along that cold front. The one area we're most concerned about, though, is near the Trenton area. Let's go ahead and zoom in on that, Chris, and I want to see if we are still seeing a pretty good hook echo. Looks like it's starting to break up. Yeah. So that could be good news. Again, we still have the tornado warning, we still have the severe thunderstorm warning, but it looks like it's starting to lose a little bit of its strength, which certainly is good news. This shows you that we could have a little bit of that gate-to-gate shear getting closer to upper freehold. Bordentown right now, you're just getting the straight line winds. So that is good indication that the storm system could be weakening as it pushes to the east. A lot of times when you get a storm like this, it kind of rains itself out. The rain actually causes evaporative cooling. It cools down the air, so it starts to collapse along itself. But still, we do have some real heavy rain near Bordentown right now, upper freehold, thunder and lightning with the potential for some of those damaging winds. Again, that tornado warning, it's radar indicated, no one's seen it, but the radar is showing that there could be a little bit of a twist in the atmosphere. Allentown, Wrightstown, Millsdown, Vista Center, and Stonehurst East, all in the path of the storm system, moving to the east at about 25 miles per hour, and that will bring the potential for some very damaging wind gusts. We have had reports already with the straight line winds, could be wind gusts up to about 60 miles per hour. So even with just the straight line winds, this is enough to cause some damage to trees, some power lines, perhaps some rooftops as well. And also, this is something we haven't really touched upon, the heavy rain. We've had dew points in the 70s, so there's a tremendous amount of moisture in the atmosphere. When you get thunderstorms like this, it's like wringing out a sponge. It's hard to drive in it, so it's really the best thing to do is go ahead and pull over and wait out. We're looking at the precipitation rate at about 2.5 to close to 3 inches per hour. Also, that's why we have the flash flood watch in effect. The best thing to do, just wait it out. And again, please do not try to drive through any flooded roads. Turn around, don't drown. It's really hard to tell just how deep that water is. Trenton area right now, you still have the thunder and lightning, but I really think the worst of it is moving towards Chesterfield. It's crossing I-95, heading towards Jackson. Pemberton, you're just south of this particular cell that has the potential for producing a tornado, a little bit of spin in the atmosphere, moving east at about 25 miles per hour. Chris, why don't we go ahead and do a track in the storm? Again, that tornado warning is in effect until 5:30. We'll have to see in about 4 minutes if the National Weather Service continues it or cancels it, but moving east at about 25 miles per hour. So some of the areas in the path of the storm, Wrightstown, Millstown, Vista Center, Stonehurst East, and Lake Club. If you live in these communities, please seek shelter immediately. Head into your basement if you have one. If you don't have a basement, the lowest floor of your building, get in a closet, interior hall, or a bathroom, something away from windows. You want to put as many layers between you and the outdoors as possible as this particular cell continues to race to the east at about 25 miles per hour. So again, that tornado warning is in effect for parts of Burlington County, parts of Mercer County as well. Chris, why don't we go ahead and show the polygons to show the warnings. The severe thunderstorm warnings, they've been pushing to the east ahead of the actual line of storms with the cold front. So Philadelphia, we were in that warning, the severe thunderstorm warning, about 20 minutes ago. Now it's really focused across New Jersey. You can see it's kind of lining up right now through the Trenton area, Burlington County. That's the orange, and that tornado warning is still in effect for parts of Mercer County, parts of Burlington County until 5:30. This is radar indicated. No one's actually seen a funnel cloud touch down, but the radar is showing that there could be enough twists in the atmosphere to perhaps spawn a tornado. So please seek shelter immediately if you live in this particular area. Why don't we go ahead and widen this out? And I want to show you the scope with the warnings of the line. So here's that line that's pushing through Mercer County, Burlington County, interior South Jersey, and really crossing the mouth of the Delaware Bay into Delaware. This is all ahead of the cold front that's bringing us much cooler air. Flip this over. We can show you the warnings that are lining lining up along that front. And you can see, all right, the severe thunderstorm warning now has been extended to include the coast. So these storms are moving pretty quickly. So you can see the orange, those are the severe thunderstorm warnings in effect for almost all of South Jersey, unless you're right along I-95. So any of these storms, in addition to the dangerous lightning, the heavy downpours, also the potential of wind gusts up to 60 miles per hour. So that's pretty widespread. That little red polygon, there we go. That one right there, that's the one that we have the potential for a tornado. So that's a tornado warning in effect until 5:30, so just one more minute for parts of Burlington and Mercer County. And now you can see the severe thunderstorm warnings have extended all the way across South Jersey until 7 o'clock. So basically, New Jersey, you are in the thick of it right now with the thunderstorm as that very powerful cold front works to the east at about 25 miles per hour. I mean, think about this time yesterday, we had the heat index above 100. Now temperatures are dropping down into the 70s. So this is causing a big change in our air mass. Much drier air is moving in, but typically when you end a heat wave and you get much cooler air, it comes with some violent weather. That's what we're getting right now. Most of Burlington County right now, you're getting thunder and lightning. We've got this whole line that's moving across the Atlantic City Expressway. Cumberland County right now, Cape May County, you've avoided it most of the evening. It's pushing in right now with heavy downpours, thunder and lightning with a potential for some flash flooding as well. Let's go back to the warnings because it's 5:30. Want to see if they've extended the tornado warning or if it is in fact been canceled. So Chris, you want to go to the warnings? Well, we're not sure right now, but basically if you live in New Jersey right now, you're getting hit with some very violent weather. We have severe thunderstorm warnings in effect. The tornado warning has been canceled. So the tornado threat right now is over, but still severe thunderstorm warnings continue. So please seek shelter immediately if you live within the warnings, but the tornado warning again has been canceled, and we'll have a lot more on some quieter weather to come in the full Accuweather forecast in a few minutes. Back to you guys. We have some news today too to talk about, right?
Yeah,
Just a little bit.
Yeah. One of the things that you talked about, Cecily, was this potential for this type of severe weather following that heat wave. You were right about that. Thank you, Brittany Boyer and Cecily Tynan. 5:30 here with Action News at 5.
Rick and Shari, this is really the same cell that produced the earlier tornado warning. It's just advanced to the east. So this is kind of on the edge of our viewing area. Parts of Mercer, Monmouth, and Ocean County until 6 o'clock. That tornado warning, that's about 12 miles now east of Trenton. It's moving east at about 25 miles per hour. The same cell earlier that produced the potential for that possible tornado, now it looks like it's just advancing to the east. So what happens if you live in this area? You need to seek shelter immediately. Please avoid windows. Go to the lowest floor of your home. If you have a basement, that's really the best place to be. If you don't have an basement, an interior hall or a bathroom, but again, as many layers as possible between you and the outdoors. That cell, it's moving east at about 25 miles per hour. Lots of lightning strikes, lots of heavy downpours, and the potential for winds, even the straight line winds with this particular line, they've actually increased up to about 70 miles per hour. So anyone in the path of the storm, you really do need to get out inside right away. So this is the particular cell that we've been tracking. It moved out of Bucks County. It moved through Mercer County, Burlington County. Now it's moving into Ocean County. So if you live in Manalapan, if you live in Tynan, Freehold, Burlington Heights, or Colts Neck, you do want to seek shelter immediately. This is the part of the storm that we're seeing some potential rotation. In addition to that, I wouldn't be surprised if you're also experiencing some large hail with this. There's a lot of energy in the atmosphere, so it's unleashing some pretty intense thunderstorms, a lot of lift with this, and the potential for some twisting in the atmosphere. Radar indicated we haven't seen a funnel cloud, but this cell, kind of the apex of this line of storms, has been causing some trouble since shortly after 5 o'clock when we did see some potential rotation in parts of Burlington County. Now it's moving into Ocean County. So this shows the relative velocity. Again, what this is, it's a tool for meteorologists to see the wind direction. Where you have the green, it's the wind that's rushing towards the radar site. Where you have the red, it's the wind that's rushing away. When you get the two of them right together, there is the possibility of some of that rotation. This shows near Crestwood Village, there could be some of that gate-to-gate shear, and that likely will be pushing to the east at about 25 miles per hour as that particular cell, along with the line of thunderstorms, continues to head towards the coast. So we do have multiple severe thunderstorm warnings, and again, that tornado warning that includes parts of northern Ocean County. This is kind of on the edge of our viewing area. That continues to push to the east. Now, this is some of the radar indicated a little bit farther to the south. We have had reports of a funnel cloud spotted, a water spout spotted on the Delaware Bay heading towards Cape May. You are under a severe thunderstorm warning, and you can see lots of thunder and lightning. Chris is giving me some information. Okay, here we go. So this now, we were talking about at the top of the 5 o'clock that there was a tornado warning on the border of Kent and Sussex County, Delaware. Now we do have a confirmation there was a confirmed tornado 3 miles east-northeast of Milford, Delaware. Now this is Sussex County. That particular cell is moving out of Delaware. It's moving towards New Jersey right now. So you can see it's right over Cape May. We have a severe thunderstorm warning in effect, but we've had reports of a water spout spotted on the Delaware Bay. So please, if you live in Cape May County, seek shelter immediately. You can see that we're looking at numerous lightning strikes continuing across Sussex County, Delaware, the mouth of the Delaware Bay into Cape May with that potential confirmed tornado earlier near Milford. Also some heavy downpours, some hail is possible. The severe thunderstorm warnings are in effect all along the coast. I want to go ahead and show you the warnings right now. I'm just backing up. This is the tornado warning that we're talking about that includes parts of northern Ocean County. If you live here, you need to seek shelter immediately. This is the same cell that was spotted earlier near Levittown, continuing to push to the east ahead of that line of thunder and lightning with that cold front. So please, if you live in this area with the tornado warning that is in effect until 6 o'clock, seek shelter immediately. I know I'm repeating myself for people who are just viewing right now. You want to go ahead, maybe turn your TV up, go into your basement. If you don't have a basement, just go to the lowest floor of your home, avoid windows, get in an interior closet or interior bathroom, as many layers between you and the outdoors as possible, since when you get a possible tornado or even straight line winds, you do have the potential for a lot of wind damage, so you want to stay away from the windows. This is the cell that we're tracking. It continues to move east at about 25 miles per hour near Millstone, Manalapan, Freehold, and this is, you can see a little bit of that hook, and this is an indication that the radar shows you of the wraparound winds possibly reaching the surface, possibly spawning that tornado. That tornado warning is in effect until 6 o'clock tonight. So near Millstone, near Manalapan, this is where we're seeing the biggest potential for the tornado. Perrinville, Freehold, Burlington Heights, Shacks Corner, and Colts Neck, all in the path of the storm system as it continues to push to the east ahead of a cold front. This is what's bringing us the end, has brought us the end to the heat wave. Much cooler air is on the way, but typically when you move out of hot, humid air to cool, drier air, it creates some violence in the atmosphere. That's exactly what's happening right now. This shows the relative velocity just to the west of Perrinville. This is probably where we have that best gate-to-gate shear, the best indication that there is some rotation in the atmosphere. Perrinville, if you live here, please seek shelter right away. Again, Freehold, Burlington Heights, all in the path of the storm system. This shows a pretty good hook with the radar Also, heavy downpours, that rain falling at the rate of about 2 to 3 inches per hour. Vivid lightning, very loud thunder. Near Millstone is where we have the center of that particular cell. This is all along the line that continues to stretch a little bit farther to the south, all the way down across the mouth of Delaware Bay. Why don't we go a little bit wider, Chris, and we can show what's going on, because this is the same storm system that rolled through Philadelphia about 45 minutes ago. It continues to push to the east. It should be reaching the coast in Ocean County probably within the next half hour. It's a solid line of thunderstorms moving across interior South Jersey, then moving towards Cape May. Again, we did have that confirmed tornado in Sussex County, Delaware, near Milford. And that particular cell, let's go ahead and show Cape May, because I know this is time of the year. A lot of people are already going to the beaches, and this is some pretty dangerous weather. You can see the lightning that is just really blossoming across parts of Cumberland and Cape May County. We can do a query and show you just how many lightning strikes we've seen over the past 15 minutes. And this is an indication of all the energy in the atmosphere that's just being unleashed right now. And that's why we're getting the heaviest downpours, the potential for flooding rains, and we've already had 3 tornado warnings tonight so far. The number of strikes, and this has really blossomed over the past 15 minutes, 222 lightning strikes. So this is a very dangerous storm. This should be pushing off the coast probably within the next half hour in Cape May. However, it's lagging a little bit farther to the west, areas up to the north. So Ocean County right now, it's really the northwest corner of Ocean County that we're most concerned about with the possibility of that tornado right now. So that tornado warning is in effect. That includes parts of northern Ocean County until 6 o'clock tonight. This is all ahead of a line of storms that we've been tracking really since about 4 o'clock, with a cold front that continues to push to the east. And this is what's creating some of that violent weather. We can go ahead and go to the radar right now. Chris, why don't you go ahead?
Mercer.
Okay, it's been canceled in Mercer right now. So this is basically Monmouth and Ocean County. So what the National Weather Service typically does when it sees a cell, a tornado warned cell, pushing to the east, it starts to kind of carve back the warning. So while this included parts of Mercer County, that's now not in the tornado warning. You're still in the severe thunderstorm warning, but the tornado warning really is focused in Monmouth and Ocean County. This is the particular cell we're watching. It's now east of Freehold. It's heading towards Jackson, and this is where we have a radar indicated tornado. So what that means, it means that the radar is picking up a little bit of spin in the atmosphere that has the potential to spawn a tornado. I don't think we have any particular reports of damage at this point, but I do think with this line of thunderstorms, we've had the potential of wind gusts 60 to 70 miles per hour. So we likely will have some trees and power lines down because of this. This part, the apex of that line, is the part that's possibly spawning the tornado. I always want to say possibly because it's radar indicated. We actually haven't seen a funnel cloud. Stonehurst East, Ardmore Estates, Farmington, Pine Brook, and Neptune, you're all in the path of the storm. Seek shelter immediately if you live in these communities. And Chris, I know you're under the gun, but why don't we go ahead and show the whole line?
And we've got live video in Cape May, so let's go back down.
Okay, all right, let's go down to Cape May. We'll show you the radar, and then I think we do have some live video of Cape May right now in that box so you can see it. It's pretty dark out there. So Cape May County has been getting hit with tremendous amount of lightning strikes. We've had more than 200 over the past 15 minutes. This particular cell is part of the same cell that spawned a confirmed tornado near Milford, Sussex County, Delaware. As this whole cluster of thunderstorms work to the east, we do have reports also of a waterspout that was spotted over the Delaware Bay. So this is an indication that there could be a little bit of rotation, and even without it right now, we're looking at 204 lightning strikes in Cape May County. A lot of people have already gone there for the long holiday weekend. So if you live in Cape May County, even though you're not in a tornado warning, you are under a severe thunderstorm warning, and this cell could produce some wind gusts up to about 70 miles per hour. So please seek shelter immediately. Also, the rainfall rates are tremendous with this. We've had rain that's been falling at the rates of about 2 to 3 inches per hour. There's so much moisture in the air. It really doesn't take much to produce some real heavy downpours. This shows in Dennis that precipitation rate more than 2.5 inches per hour. So that's the blinding downpours, and that's why we have been talking about the potential for flash flooding. If you see any flooded roads, please do not try to drive through them. It's really hard to tell exactly how deep that water is. You can see the precipitation rate anywhere from about 1.25 inches to more than 2 inches per hour with this particular cell. So we have severe thunderstorm warnings in effect for a large portion of South Jersey, and we have that tornado warning in effect as well. Chris, why don't we go ahead and show you the warnings? I want to show the severe thunderstorm warnings because a lot of times they start to get trimmed back as the whole line pushes to the east. The line is moving generally anywhere from about 25 to 35 miles per hour, so it's pushing pretty quickly. So you can see now a large portion of South Jersey from just to kind of the corner of Mercer County through Ocean County. We've got that tornado warning that includes a sliver of northern Ocean County. It continues through much of Burlington County all the way to the coast. So severe thunderstorm warnings are in effect until between 6:15 and 7 o'clock. And also, people in Rehoboth Beach, Lewis, Delaware, you're also dealing with a severe thunderstorm warning until 6 o'clock. These thunderstorms can produce wind gusts up to about 60 to 70 miles per hour. So that's really the severe aspect of it, but also we have the dangerous lightning, we have the heavy downpours. Mother Nature's kind of unleashing everything on us right now with this particular line of storms. You can see that solid line extending through Ocean County, through Burlington counties with all the lightning strikes, and this is what is bringing the potential for some of that twisting in the atmosphere. Could have a quick spin up of a tornado, and even where you don't, when you see that particular bowing, you see the line kind of bowing out, that's an indication of rushing winds. So I wouldn't be surprised right now near Browns Mills if you're really hearing the winds just roaring out there. You could be getting wind gusts up to about 60, 70 miles per hour. We do. All right, let's go ahead. We have a live shot of the Ocean City Boardwalk, and people are running for cover right now. The skies are very dark. They're hearing the thunder and the lightning right now, and it's one of these situations where you go from sunshine to very dark clouds to just the skies opening up with that torrential rain. So they are doing the right thing. Get under a building, please, right now. I've mentioned this many times in the past that lightning doesn't necessarily hit vertically. It can strike horizontally. So you can get lightning striking as much as 15 miles ahead of a particular storm. So you really do want to seek shelter before this happens. As soon as you hear that rumble of thunder, get indoors right away. This is Wildwood right now, and you can see the same thing, people running for cover because the skies have opened up. We have the thunder, we have the lightning, and you can see the torrential downpours right now. Typically, when you get a heat wave, you get some violence in the atmosphere. When the cooler, drier air encounters that hot, humid air, it produces a lot of convection. It's a fancy word for thunderstorms, and that's what we're seeing right now. We're going from a heat index of 107 yesterday to Saturday. Temperatures are only going to be in the 70s, so there's a big change in the air mass, and this is what's producing all the heavy rain right now. People are running through the rain. Please seek shelter right away. Just go into a building. You don't want to be outdoors in this because the lightning is really, really dangerous, and the lightning is tremendous with this particular cell that's moving towards Cape May County right now, Atlantic County. We've had more than 200 lightning strikes over the past 15 minutes. In addition to the heavy downpours, the lightning is very, very dangerous, so please seek shelter. And we do have that severe thunderstorm warning that continues across much of interior South Jersey, Burlington County, and that tornado warning that is kind of on the fringe of our viewing area, the corner of northern Ocean County. That continues until 6 o'clock tonight. Chris, maybe you can query and make sure, just look on the National Weather Service chat to see if there's been any change to that. This is the radar. So where you see that little bit of a hook echo, that's an indication that there is a bit of spin in the atmosphere. It's radar indicated. Again, we haven't seen a tornado funnel cloud reported, seen by any eyewitnesses. And typically when you get heavy rain, it's really hard to see that anyhow.
Tornado warning just expired, severe thunderstorm warning just expired.
Okay, all right, so thank you, Chris. Tornado warning has just expired.
For the city, the severe thunderstorm warning for the city has also just expired.
But we still have severe thunderstorm warnings in effect along the coast, and Ocean City, New Jersey, Wildwood, New Jersey, you can see why. We have thunder, we have lightning, we have heavy downpours. Please seek shelter right away. But again, that tornado warning has expired. We still have some violent weather. Things are going to be settling down overnight. I'll talk more about that in the Accuweather 7-day forecast. Back to you guys.
All right. It has been quite an evening weather-wise. Thank you, Cecily. Thank you, Brittany. Of course, we'll continue to update the situation both on the air and online at 6abc.com and our 6ABC app as well.
Yeah, we're not exactly, of course, in the complete clear as Cecily and Brittany Boyer have been watching this line of storms move across the Delaware Valley. We've seen it go from being a thunderstorm watch to tornado warning. So just as that changed within the last hour, it could very well happen again that another tornado warning could pop up. As we know, our meteorologists are keeping an eye on the radars. We take this live look into Ocean City where people were on the boardwalk, and then, of course, the downpour came and people running for safety.
The skies opening up. The good news is that the heat wave was over, those few days of intense heat in the area. The bad news is, with the cool down has come some soggy weather, and we're seeing stormy weather throughout the area tonight. Ocean City on your left, Wildwood on your right, and again, folks at the Jersey Shore hopefully taking cover as the storm passes through. We want to get the very latest on the traffic situation. Why don't we do that right now?
Yeah, Matt Pellman standing by with a look outside. It's a soggy ride for people right now.
Man, we are feeling waterlogged in a lot of spots. We watched the really heavy rain roll through here along the Jersey Turnpike a little bit ago. This is the scene between Robbinsville and Bordentown, and the road is still really wet, but the worst of it is not happening right now. We saw flashing lights with people slowing down earlier. For those heading down the shore toward those shots that we just showed, there are lots of them, and they're looking at a really soggy ride. Live look here at 42 under 295. Southbound traffic stacked coming away from the Walt Bridge. But again, it's not pouring here at the moment. Here's 95 in Fishtown. We've had a lot of flooding from the earlier heavy rains that rolled through this area. There you can see the PennDOT crews out here taking out a lane, and it's really slow in both directions with people kind of gingerly working their way through the high water. It's not so deep in this area that you can't drive through it, but drivers have to go slowly both directions here along 95 just north of Girard. We also still have that broken down truck on the southbound side a bit ahead as you head toward the Vine Expressway. So bottom line is single-digit speeds along 95 that then have the domino effect. They spill back onto the Vine Expressway and back onto the Schuylkill Expressway coming to town just 10 miles per hour on the eastbound side. Phil's game has rained out tonight. Not surprising as we look live in South Philadelphia. The bank right over here. It's busy here, but traffic in South Philadelphia along 95 not quite as clogged as it is in the Northeast. Watching a crash on the Barry Bridge eastbound, giving us delays back to 95, and the Schuylkill had flooding eastbound by the Conshohocken Curve. Luckily, that water is starting to recede. Rick and Shari, back over to you.
All right, Matt, again, a busy night for folks out on the highways and byways, and also again at the Jersey Shore. Sky 6 taking a very live look one more time at the Ocean City Boardwalk as the storms are moving in and folks are hurriedly running for cover.
Yeah, we see the camera too struggling to keep up with the wind and rain that's coming in the area, but this is the place to be as we look forward to the 4th of July holiday weekend. But today, not the best day to be at the beach, so be safe if you're out there, of course, the rest of the evening.
It's Thursday night, and the big story on Action News tonight is an Accuweather Alert as violent storms move through the area. We, in fact, have a severe thunderstorm watch in place until 8, and a flash flood watch is in effect through tomorrow morning. This is the way it looked as the storm clouds gathered over Chestnut Hill in Philadelphia, and then they opened up with heavy rain pelting Germantown Avenue. And, of course, if you've been watching, you know that we have had tornado warnings through much of the area tonight. Meteorologist Cecily Tynan taking care of that, and now with a look at the entire weather situation. Cecily.
And Jim, the good news is that we don't have any tornado warnings right now. The bad news is we still have a lot of violent weather out there. Storm Tracker 6 live double scan showing a solid line of thunderstorms working across New Jersey right now, in some areas hitting the coast, and we have heavy downpours, and we have thunder and lightning, and we have potentially damaging winds. Severe thunderstorm warnings are in effect basically the length of the New Jersey coastline until 7 o'clock. This is because this particular line of storms has a history of producing wind gusts 60 to 70 miles per hour. So that's enough to bring down some trees, some power lines. We also have had a report of a funnel cloud, a water spout, spotted in the Delaware Bay. So I want to zoom in over Cape May County right now, where we've had more than 200 lightning strikes over the past 15 minutes. Atlantic City right now, you're on the edge of getting really those heavy downpours. The Atlantic City Expressway, the Garden State Parkway, all dealing with rain that's falling at the rate of about 1 to 2.5 inches per hour. This whole line extends up to the north. We've been tracking some of those storms moving across Burlington County as well. Parts of Ocean County earlier under a tornado warning. Pemberton right now, things are starting to kind of quiet down there, but heading towards the Garden State Parkway in Ocean County, this should all be pushing off the coast by about 7 o'clock. You step outside, what a difference a day makes. Temperatures are now dropping into the 70s. That heat wave is over. We're anywhere from about 16 to 23 degrees cooler than this time yesterday. And when you think about it, that heat index yesterday, 107, so it feels about 30 degrees colder. This is what to expect tonight. Some more thunderstorms and downpours that watch until 8 o'clock. There is a flash flood potential. Please do not drive through any flooded roads. Looking at 1 to 3 inches of rain. Much cooler to start your holiday weekend. Also a few lingering showers. I'll talk more about that in the AccuWeather 70 forecast. Jim?
And we urge you to stay up to date on the changing conditions and severe weather in our region with the 6 ABC app. You will find the exclusive AccuWeather 7-day and hourly forecasts and, of course, Storm Tracker 6 radar. Tornado warnings are over, but we still have some serious weather out there.
Yeah, especially right along the coast. It's pushing to the coast right now, and we're getting some of the storm reports in and a lot of reports of trees down and wires down. So this line came through with quite a bit of gusto. Let's go live on Sky 6. I was showing you this live shot in Ocean City. People were running for cover on the boardwalk. Now that violent weather has moved off the coast and you just have some lingering rain, but we still have severe thunderstorm warnings along the coast until 7 o'clock. That's because this particular line, in addition to heavy downpours, thunder and lightning, also packing winds that could be in excess of 60 miles per hour. So that's why we have had quite a few reports of the trees and the power lines down as this front continues to push to the east. Now, Storm Tracker 6 live double scan showing that we still have some light rain in Philadelphia, but all the thunder and lightning is approaching the coast right now. In Ocean City, Toms River, you're getting hit very hard. It's basically lining right along the Garden State Parkway. Cape May County, Atlantic County, you're done with the worst of the weather. You can see this line, how it's bowing out. That's an indication that it really came with the rushing winds. That's moved off the coast. We just have some generally light to moderate rain in Cape May. But we're getting a lot of pictures like this. Chris Sowers has a friend, Chuck from Franklinville, showing in Wildwood. And this is a shelf cloud. This is basically the boundary between the updraft and the downdraft in a line of thunderstorms. And when you see something like this heading in your direction, you need to get inside immediately. That's an indication you've got some real violent weather on the way. Temperatures now, a rain-cooled 74 in Philadelphia. This time yesterday, we were well up in the 90s with a heat index above 100. Allentown 77, Trenton 72, and Cape May 71. So this front was a heat buster. Tonight at 9 o'clock, the severe weather has moved out, but we'll still have a few pockets of showers and thunderstorms. Don't be surprised if around 12:30 in the morning you hear a rumble of thunder south of Philadelphia. In the morning, I think some of this is overdone, but there could be a few lingering showers early. And then temperatures tomorrow, quite a bit cooler than we felt for a while. Mostly cloudy, a few scattered showers around, but most of the day will be rain-free. Temperatures running about 7 degrees below average. Philadelphia Philadelphia 80, Allentown 78, Wilmington 81, and Cape May 78 degrees. If you're down the shore, there's a low risk of rip currents. That's a good news. The ocean temperature will be rebounding back up to about 67 degrees, and the holiday weekend's not going to be perfect, but it won't be a washout. Friday, clouds with thunder shower possible, 76 on Saturday. Some sunshine, still a possibility of a shower. The high only 75, and Sunday for the 4th, some sunshine. Most of the day should be rain-free, 77 degrees, but there is a possibility of an afternoon thunder shower. So the exclusive AccuWeather 7-day forecast tomorrow, mostly cloudy, a few scattered showers. The high only 80 degrees on Saturday. This is the coolest day of the holiday weekend, only 74. Still a possibility of a few showers. We brighten up for the 4th, 81 degrees. A late day thunderstorm is possible. On Monday, a lot of people have that day off. It's warm, 89 degrees, and then we get back in the heat and humidity for 2 days next week. Tuesday, 94. On Wednesday, 92, and Thursday, some thunderstorms likely will drop the temperature a bit with a high of 87 degrees. I'm still getting the storm reports in, and I will have an update on them on Action News tonight at 11. Jim?